And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the Code for Giants Cup number 22, your bi-weekly dose of Brazilian StarCraft. I'm, of course, YanXII VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Whew, it has been a week. It's been far too long here since the last Brazilian StarCraft edition here, and I'm happy to jump on in. As a reminder, this is a replay cast, as we did miss this event live not too long ago, but now we're here to catch up. And I did want to catch up for a couple of different reasons here. So first things first, I didn't mention this last time, but I want to mention it again. One, welcome one and all to feature these amazing Brazilian players. But for a very long time now, for the past couple of months, ever since the start of the year, the Brazilian scene has been crowdfunding and has been attempting to host an offline event in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, and that has been successful. They did crowdfund, they did book the venue as well, and there is going to be an offline event in June in Brazil, and they're organizing and they're hosting events like this, like Code for Giants Cup, Amantes de StarCraft, Host Open, to accumulate points to be able to qualify for the event and to make it through. I say that at this point, I believe we have now concluded all the players that have got enough points to qualify for the event, and the event begins next week. When I say the event begins, basically the finals, the playoff brackets is going to be in the offline venue in June, but leading up to it, there are going to be online, like, open stages, or I should say stage one, like online stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, leading up to those offline finals. And that is this weekend. That is going to be this weekend. That's the first stage. The first stage is going to be this weekend, and we will do our best to bring you that content here and now in English, of course. Again, that's going to be over the weekend. It's going to be at a brutal time. It's going to be at like 3 a.m. KST or something crazy like that, or like 2 a.m. our time, something along those lines. So it's going to be at a little bit of a rougher time slot, at least for those in the Australia region, but for those in the Americas or in Europa, should be at a decent time. And yeah, we'll do our best to bring that to you as best we can here in English, maybe in English. It's gonna be amazing, gonna be beautiful. So a big shout out to all those working behind the scenes, a big shout out to the Brazilian community for making this a reality as well. It's really cool to see them come together and create this initiative and have the passion to bring this together as well. And because that's going to be happening here over the weekend, I do want to catch up on all the missing matches that we weren't able to broadcast. Again, we did cast Code for Giants Cup 23 live, but 22 we did miss, so I want to be able to catch up on the form of these players as best as I can. Speaking of, let's go, Bobby, let's go. Exciting times, 100%. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of like crowd-funded and community-funded events that are going on at the moment, whether it's in Brazil, whether it's the HSL, the Hispanic StarCraft League, whether it's KSL, whether it's our own events as well. It's really cool to see the community and the people come together to actually be able to make these tournaments and have something for the players to compete in as well. So 100%. It's really cool, really exciting, and we will start things off here with our initial TvT. Now, this might be a bit of a shorter broadcast, but we do have our quarterfinals into semis into grand finals ready for us. Up first, we have Kamikaze versus YanXII gonna be facing off. Let's go. Let us go. Again, YanXII is a player that we don't get to cast enough of, I'll be honest. I love me some YanXII, but again, YanXII, he's a bit of a younger player. He's a little bit less active. In his prime, I would say that he'll be favored in this series, but we'll see how they compare. This morning, in the top left-hand corner of Whistles of Gold, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the blue Terran. It is Kamikaze. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player, also from Brazil, representing Team Hellfire. It is YanXII. And, of course, if you're in the chat, if you're looking and if you're craving for some Eric, I know that Eric, he didn't play in last week's Code for Giants Cup, but he did play in this Code for Giants Cup, so we will get into some Eric action soon, TM. We'll get there, Bobby, we'll get there. Don't you worry. As for now, We are going to be settling into our initial TvT matchup. So far, so good. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild. Now, coming into this TvT, I'm a little bit concerned. Kamikaze, he's known for mech. He's known for mech. He's known for slowing the game down and having his own unique approach to the game. YanXII is a much more active player, much more active, going into bio tank more often than not, going to drop play. But again, it's been a while since I've casted YanXII, so I do miss covering him. I do miss casting him as a player. So we'll see how he does approach someone of the caliber of Kamikaze. I mentioned before that YanXII in his prime, I would favor 100%, but nowadays YanXII does spend a lot of time on his studies, you know, focusing elsewhere, not as much time competing as he used to back in the day. Okay, okay, craving for yes, we crave for the kangaroo. True. Yo, shout out to Gnome Chomsky in the chat. Shout out to Turbo Quacker. Oh my god, baby god. Thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 sub to the community. It actually lands on Luciano, papi. Oh my god. Luciano, he's a Chilean Terran player. So shout out to Luciano. I'm sure he'll be pleasantly surprised to see the sub once he does recognize it. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, Turbo Quacker, for the gift, for the support. Thank you so much. As always. The people cry out for Eric. Oh no, not like this. Whenever Eric goes to the Eric opener, people out there, they cry out, they scream his name. They don't know why, but they do. Oh no, it's the Eric. Aye. As for now, double gas opener here out of Kamikaze, going for a racks into factory into a delayed TC. YanXII does the same, so mirrored build so far. Everyone is going for the same opener for the time being. There's a command center for YanXII, there's a command center for Kamikaze as well, and from here we'll see where our players deviate. For the time being, it's going to be Reaper Hellion, no add-ons yet. It looks like we're going straight for the starport into a 1-1-1. Meanwhile, Kamikaze does go for the earlier add-on. So because this Kamikaze, he only has one Reaper. He went one Reaper into Tech Lab, into add-on swap, into early Cyclone. This is something more defensive. So with the early Cyclone, Kamikaze, he should be able to defend back at home and deflect any kind of aggression. We have YanXII, speaking of aggression, building up extra Reapers, extra Hellions to be active on the map, but he shouldn't really be able to achieve too much here, at least across the map. Meanwhile, again, he's going for the faster 1-1-1. Add-ons now going to be on the way. Here comes that Reaper Hellion, and by the time this army gets across the map, the Cyclone should be ready for this. Yeah, we got the Cyclone, we got a second Cyclone on the way. Kamikaze should be very robust with this. He should not move out onto the map. Defensively back at home, he has the high ground to work with. He can, of course, kite back. The CC might be under a little bit of threat here as he does go for the SCV, but no, alas, lock-on is solid, and Kamikaze defense. Ooh, catching the Hellion. So nice pick up here. Hellion does go down. Behind this, we have our 1-1-1. From here, this should lead into Raven production, but oh, never mind. I was going to say that it's not uncommon to open up Banshee. Now, you may be thinking, hold up, Cloak Banshee, can it really do too well here? I mean, scans are available. That is true, scans are available, but because Cloak Banshees are so uncommon, it is very common for Terran players to just mule their hearts out and to be as efficient as possible on their economy, so there isn't always a scan available. Damage can still be done with those Cloak Banshees. So we go, Kamikaze does fan out on the right hand side. We have Reapers here towards the left hand side instead. Drop moves out. Oh, the drop is going to be caught out. The boost is on cooldown, and the medevac takes a lot of hits. And the medevac, one more shot will barely not go down. Whew. Okay, yeah, and he will save the medevac. He will break the loco. Nice juggling here with the Cyclone. Medevac does still fall in the end. Oh, and he's forced to engage. He will lose the Cyclone. He does not get... Oh, he does. Oh my god. The Reapers for this round. Cleans up all the Cyclones. Not too bad. Yan able to catch out the army. Looking at the slot tab here, a very back and forth trade. You can see Kamikaze barely comes out worse when it comes to losing gases. He lost 2 Cyclones. Meanwhile, Yan lost 1 Cyclone and 1 medevac. So close trades. Reapers, they bust into the main base. They get eyes on the very fast third CC. Jesus. So fast third CC here by Kamikaze. Boys are being pulled. SCV is going to be going down. Kamikaze, he's in trouble here. He's in trouble bleeding out a lot of SCVs. Behind this, we do have a standard Raven tank follow-up. As Reapers, they try to get behind the mineral line. Reapers, they've yet to really confirm what's going on. They get another SCV. Very nice control here from YanXII. Getting up to 4 workers. But the Banshee has arrived, and what is the anti-air looking like? 2 Marines? The Cyclone does race back home. We're holding onto a scan. And that's going to be, what, 4 or 5 SCV kills. Cyclone comes in. There's a scan. There's a lock-on, and the Banshee should go down. Whew. First Banshee falls. First Banshee does fall. We have a second Banshee moving out as we speak. Yan is now aware, and now he's focusing on his defense. Now, my biggest concern here coming into the mid game is that Kamikaze has an insanely fast third base, and so far, Yan, he hasn't been able to really do much with it. He's still stuck at home defending against the Banshees. We'll see if Yan can try to punish the greed of Kamikaze. Oh, there's lock on. There's lock on, and oh my god, lock on gets broken, just barely out of vision, just barely out of range of the scan. Kamikaze does survive back at home. We did mention earlier that Kamikaze is very fond of mech, and there it is. We have 2 more factories on the way. Kamikaze is meching it up. Meanwhile, Yan, from here, he has the option to go into mech, but he should be playing bio as he throws out his own 3rd CC. Reapers, they bust in, they get eyes on another factory. He knows. He now knows what's going on. Now aware of the mech coming his way. Likewise, oh, we do have his own Banshee, I believe, cloakless. Yeah, and also hits the natural base, and where's the anti-air? Zero anti-air here for Kamikaze. Tank is going to be targeted down, SCV is going to be falling, and we have some Vikings on the way, we have some Cyclones on the way, but Kamikaze is just losing far too much. At the same time, also gets across the map, the Banshees, they're popping off. Oh my god. Banshee does fall. Likewise, another Banshee here at the natural. More SCV is going to be going down. The Banshees are pretty good. God damn it. As Yan does defend in the end, and Kamikaze will eventually force his back. Bearing in mind that Yan does not have scan. Ooh, but he does force a wasted. He does not have cloak, but he does force a wasted scan. Nicely done. Getting 13 SCV kills, denying any kind of mining at the natural base as well. And just like that, Yan does take an economic lead. Has an army lead as well. Checking his upgrades, no stim. Is getting into fire, but unfortunately no stim. So this army has a lot of potential, but trying to dive into a siege line and break a tank line here is not going to be easy. That's where the Raven comes into play. Of course, Yan did research interference matrix, so he can disable a tank, he can break a siege line. But oof, Kamikaze waiting for Yan to move out. Kamikaze, he has set a trap. Scan reveals that the army is nowhere to be found. A little bit suspect. Now Yan can still disable this army and break this position. So he does get into the mineral line. There we go, he does force a response here by Kamikaze. Big on siege. And yeah, now he moves in, he scans, he does spot the 3rd base. He's moving in. Does move in, does siege in position, the base is under fire. Yeah, massive shots going off. And he does spot the mech army. Oh, first Raven's going to go down. Oh, brutal connection. Yeah, Raven falls. The other Raven barely does pull away, but that's an expensive loss here for Yan. Oh no, he wants it. Oh my god, he gets it as well. Whew. So nice figures here by Kamikaze. Yeah, that was two Ravens full of energy as well. Ay. They could have disabled. Could have seen something out of that. Yan, as Kamikaze does land those Vikings, going for the tank. The final tank does go down. Yan losing all of his tanks, but can he get the CC? He can! Oh my god! He gets the orbital! Takes down the 3rd base, not bad. Yo, who needs stim? Man with gun. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, but it's pretty... Ay. Does snipe the expansion. Kamikaze now down a base. But his tank army here is still terrifying. Looking at the units tab here, it's going to be 5 tanks to the 3 of Yan. Yan just out getting the stim, combat shields. Rest of his army, rest of his production. Heli run by is going to be shut down. Whew. Momentum is on the inside. Now, I would love to see him try to keep being aggressive and move in and try to break one of these bases, but the reality is that Yan, he doesn't have stim, right? So he has to wait for his upgrades before he can really do anything across the map. This will give Kamikaze time to recover. He's making more tanks, making more Vikings. Again, he is slowing down the game, or at least he's hoping to slow down the game. He's also double expanding. 3rd base and a 4th base at the same time. Ay. That's a lot of bases, that's a lot of CCs. So we are still building up. Now, once Yan has those upgrades, can he still break this position? I think he can go for drop play. Right now, because the economy has been stifled for Kamikaze, usually a meching Terran player would already have a line of a ring of turrets, right? That have a ring of turrets here in the main base to destroy any kind of drop plays, sensor towers as well. Right now, the turtle isn't really there. Like, the defenses aren't there, not yet. So there is an opening for some doom drops into the main, some drop play into the natural. You can see that the entire army of Kamikaze is centralized in one location. There are openings here towards the natural and towards the main base that Yan can make use of, but he has to notice it himself. Does have to recognize said openings. For now, he's still building up. There we go. Here's the move out. Yeah, and he does have a couple of medevacs, so he can go for drop play. Shots at the Hellions. Kamikaze, he's aware he should rotate. Deeper is going down. And Kamikaze, his army does not move. Yeah, and he's finding an opening. He scans. He does see the army. Sees it's out of position. There are 2 tanks to worry about, though. Does them in. Yeah, Sims 40 should take down both tanks. Takes a lot of tank shots. His army does stack. Oh god, he goes right into the mid-run. He's bleeding out too much. Yeah, this is not going to be worth it here. I mean, he does get one of the tanks, but he bleeds out so much in the process. Ay. Yeah, and he plummets in supply. Unfortunately, he kept his army stacked up, so the value here with these tank shots was brutal. And you can see he got 4 SCVs. He got 4 SCVs, 1 tank, 4 Hellions, and he lost 35 Marines and 7 Marauders. Ay. He lost far too much. And I'm worried. Now, Yan still has a massive supply lead, but now he has no dive potential. A lot of his supply are in workers, or in tanks, or in medevacs. He no longer has that massive bio army, which means he can no longer stim in. He can no longer stim in, he can no longer break a position. Kamikaze is successfully turtling up. So he has now successfully established his 3rd base. He's now getting a 4th expansion as well. Kamikaze is still down in supply, but remember, the mech army is very efficient here, so might be down in army supply, but really he still has a more efficient army, a greater army, and things are looking a little bit more dire now for Yan. Yan, he had some opportunities here in this game, but at this point, those opportunities are falling by the wayside. There's still openings into the main base. There's still no turrets or anything like that. We do see a drop into said main, but it's going to be deflected. Only 1 medevac. And he moves in the right hand side. Now, Yan can still try and punish the 4th base. There's only 2 tanks. The sensor tower is not quite done yet. There we go. Does push forward. Kamikaze scans, though he sees the army. He responds. And Kamikaze rotates over. Again, just fortifying this expansion. Now he's got 4 tanks and 2 liberators. It's not going to be working. Now, I do appreciate what Kamikaze is doing. What Yan is doing. Yan, he's going for the fusion core. So fusion core is on the way. This could be one of 2 things. Right now, the answer to this kind of mass mech army that Kamikaze is going for, you can go into BCs. You can try to throw down like 3 starports and go into mass BC. We can see here we have triple starport production already going to mass Viking, but this fusion core might just be for liberators. That is another way to approach this, of course, is going into Viking lib. But at this point, it's one of those things where Yan, as the game has progressed, now we're done with the bio army. Now we have to get into our own form of mech, and Kamikaze, he's already there. Now, thankfully for Yan, Kamikaze's upgrades are actually lacking. I didn't realize, but it looks like, yeah, he's only just now getting +1 vehicle plating, or armor plating. He's not getting +2. So the upgrades are lacking here for Kamikaze. Yan moving in. Does catch out the Vikings. Gets 1. Gets 1 so far. You can see more factories on the way. So again, Yan, like, at this point, like, he has to get into his own mech. Kamikaze getting to mass Thor. At this point, I would want potentially Yan to throw away some Vikings or throw away some Marauders for some Liberators. As the Liberator is called out. This is why ahead with upgrades just have it in. If you're referring to trying to break these siege lines, Kamikaze will win that fight. You can be up 30, 40 supply and pushing into a siege line like this, you will lose. Like, Kamikaze cannot break this position. He shouldn't try to. Otherwise, that will just cost him the game. Well, Heli Rumbai does get 12 SCVs. At this point, at this point, Yan's best option is to contain the Terran player on 4 bases and mass expand. And so far, Yan is doing so. But I do want to see like a prioritization of like more starports, more liberators, getting to Yamato. It's Kamikaze. It looks like he's getting ready for his own expansion. Kamikaze breaking out. This is going to be Yan's moment. He can try to surround this army, try to sandwich in. It's still going to be a little bit awkward, but this is going to be Yan's best moment. Like, Kamikaze, he can defend very well defensively, but now he's moving out into the open. He's moving out. Yan is repositioning. Kamikaze can just go right down mid. Yeah, he's knocking down those rocks. Pushing through the center. He's got his mass Thor. And trying to set up for this. Slowly pushing in. Yeah, tanks still going to be sieging. Liberators, they overextend. Yeah, libs are going to be first to go down. Ay. Yeah, and he led with the liberators. And with that, lib count is reset. Likewise, nice landing from Kamikaze, catching up the tanks. Tanks going to be going down. Trading up more marauders, which is probably a good thing here. Again, it's all about like tank, Viking, liberator at this point. Kamikaze is working his own vehicle weapons number 2. Meanwhile, Yan, it looks like he is fallen by the wayside when it comes to his upgrades. He has 1-1, but he hasn't started +2 on his armory. I mean, like these 3-3 upgrades mean nothing. Like like these 3-3 upgrades, they don't really mean much here for Yan. Kamikaze's pushing in, catching out more tanks. Kamikaze just forcing his way through. Liberation has arrived. We need more lives back. More tanks as well. Jesus, Kamikaze's got 21 tanks. He has foregone Viking or air control, I should say, trying to get back into it. Production under fire. Yeah, and he still hasn't started those upgrades. Let's get a couple of tanks. A couple of tanks go down. Likewise, he has the high ground, getting another tank. Nice little pickups here and there. Nice. Once again, these liberators, they do stack. So be careful. Forcing back to Yami. Kamikaze, he breaks out, he gets a new expansion. Big moment here for Kamikaze, double expanding. Yeah, and he cannot let that happen. These are big moments here for Kamikaze, getting a 5th base and a 6th. But he's just zoning Yan away. Kamikaze moving in, going for another expansion. Yes, he's going to be punished for it. Gets 1 tank, Liberation has arrived, but once again he leads with the Liberators and he's going to lose every single one. Yeah, Liberators, they all go down. You do need to ideally engage with the ground army to tank shots to allow the Liberators to siege up. And yeah, he's falling apart here. He's falling apart, losing everything. We have mass BC on the way from Kamikaze, and again he's embracing BCs in a faster way. Making 3 BCs at a time. Now, even though he is making 3 BCs at a time, I will say that the Viking count is still in favor of Yan. So in a head-on fight, I think Yan is still going to be okay with all those Vikings. assuming he maintains that Viking lead. Now trying to force his way forward. Does catch out the Thors, gets one of the tanks. Nicely done. Still holding on to that Viking count. Down to 10. 10 Vikings left. Okay, +3 ship weapons on the way. See, it does overextend with that BC. C goes down. This game should go into just mass like Sky Terran versus Sky Terran. That should be the direction that we're heading in. Kamikaze does find another expansion though. Turret goes down. Yan trying to respond. He does rotate. But of course, Kamikaze can just teleport. He can just teleport away. He shouldn't lose these BCs. Yep, there's a teleport. Gets on top of the tanks. Yan just getting pulled apart. Again, BCs are just so mobile here, and they shut down 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks. Oh my gosh. 4 or 5 tanks going down. And trying to keep up. He's got how many? He's got 12 Liberators, 15 Vikings. Does at least have the attack upgrades here on his air army. He's trying to move in. The Thors, they punish him so hard. And here come the Liberators. This time they will siege up. Oh, where are the Vikings? Yeah, Vikings a little bit too far behind. Now they're moving in. And yeah, he should come out on top of this fight, but at the same time, he'll lose an entire mineral line. 16 SCVs going down. The BCs wreak havoc. But cooldown, the teleport should be on cooldown. So the BCs, they should go down. Gets one. Gets one, gets two, gets all 3. And yeah, he will win this fight. Takes down all of the battle cruisers. Takes down the tanks. Did lose an expansion, but hey, he's got another. He's got more bases. Still has a semblance of an economy. Not too much, actually. He's down to 50 SCVs. It's concerning. And he's scanning, looking for bases. He's moving in. Kamikaze still has a greater economy, and he has to get another base. We gotta send it back. There are just so many tanks though. Yeah, there are just too many tanks to move in. I'll look at the planetary. Planetary goes down. Kamikaze rotating. Oh, the Vikings. So is that barely within range. Tanks are going down at the same time. Kamikaze pushing on the right-hand side. This will force a big reaction. Here's it coming from behind. Likewise, Vikings that do move in. Oh, God, there are just so many Thors though. Yeah, Thors, they shut down the libs. And this is just no answer. There's no answer to the Thors here. We have mass Viking. Not enough Liberators, not enough BCs. The Thors, they overwhelm. And another base goes down. Yeah, again, he just can't engage. Yeah, I mean, sure, he can land the Vikings, true. The Vikings. The base goes down. Yeah, and he does still have bottom left fully operational. He's trying to take another expansion. Likewise, Kamikaze's and base is denied. He has top right, fully operational as well. They each have a full mining base. Kamikaze has a better economy. Look at the Unistab. Kamikaze's got 11 Thors. And there's not that much anti-ground for Yan. If he can fight with all of his tanks, then maybe. He needs all those tanks. So Yan is moving in. Does deny the CC. Yeah, and he actually does zone Kamikaze away from his own expansion, so he can bring down this base, but he reacts. Yeah, he reacts to Kamikaze instead. He pulls back. Kamikaze going pure Viking Thor. It's a lot of Thors. And this base goes uncontested. Now the BCs, they will come across the expansion. The most important base here for Kamikaze. Now it's going to be going down. All the SVs are going to be falling. Oh my gosh. Jesus. The Thors, they blast the Vikings out of the sky. That was crazy. Mineral line goes down. Yanni teleports away. BCs, they are going to fall. Tanks, they pop off Vikings, they just go for the land. The tank's going to be going down. Massive pick off here. Kamikaze, he shuts down the tanks. Catches out the Liberators. Once again, just pulling Yen apart. Yeah, he plummets in supply. And now Kamikaze has access to the base. Access to bottom left. He should be heading in that direction. Checking for fringe bases, checking for expansions. And trying to keep up. And again, the supplies are getting close here, but I do still favor Kamikaze's main army. Like, his main army here is still looking greater than that of Yan's. Yeah, catching out more tanks. One BC does get caught out, but Yan, he no longer has the Viking lead. He's down to a handful of Marines, Marauders, a handful of tanks. Yeah, Kamikaze's moving in, and he will overwhelm. GG gets called. Kamikaze, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, Kamikaze does overwhelm Yen. He was in a really rough position. I will say that Yen had a better early game. He had a much better early game. If you remember, he was up in bases, he was up in upgrades, he was up in economy. He had a lot of advantages, but we spoke about it. We spoke about how Yen, he had to leverage that advantage in some way to try to catch Kamikaze out of position and make use of his immobility. And if you remember, it all culminated in that one big bio attack at the natural, where Yen, he lost, was it like 30 Marine? He lost so much bio supply for like one tank. He killed one tank, he killed 4 Hellions. It was not worth it. After that moment, he lost a lot of momentum that he had accumulated, and at a certain point, Kamikaze, he was able to stabilize and then just overwhelm. I mentioned at the time that Yan, he just had a really hard time switching out of his bio and switching into Sky Terran, and switching into mech, his own mech as well. And Kamikaze was just having a greater, just better fights, pushing in, kind of bullying in. GG. GG, well played. With that, Kamikaze does take a lead in the series, and we'll see if Yan can recover coming into game 2. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing New Alliance, I think it's New Alliance. It is Kamikaze. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Hellfire. It is Yan. We go. Golfing ain't easy. I mean, again, I think when you were talking about tapping it in, we did mention that Yan could not attack. Like, he was like, he just didn't have the best army for it. He couldn't break Kamikaze. Another big moment, of course, was when Kamikaze was able to successfully get a 5th base. Like, that was a big moment for Kamikaze. Yan's win condition was to try to contain Kamikaze and max out, and being able to just out macro him. But that's something that Yan did fail to do, as Kamikaze did break out to get a 5th base. He successfully got into his own BCs and Thors. But now we're getting into game number 2. we go. Catching up. Buenos life, ¿cómo vamos? All good, sí, sí, all good, papi, all good. All good. Como siempre, papi, como siempre. As of now, double gas. Once again, double gas opening here at Kamikaze. Now, Kamikaze, he's known for mech. He's known for mech. He's known for, I mean, the style that we just saw. So we expect that again here in game number 2. Now, what I will say is that I do think that this is going to be a stronger map for Kamikaze. When it comes to Whistles of Gold is a much smaller map and aggression is favored. So being able to, or trying to be active and trying to apply pressure and trying to break these siege lines and outposition your opponent, you can be a little bit more successful in Whispers of Gold. Here on Amygdala, much larger map, much larger map rotations. They take longer on this map as well. It is easier to fortify and to defend these locations. So this is where Kamikaze is going to be looking at his strongest. This is where Yan has to take a different approach. Now we might see Yan be more aggressive, or we might see Yan be a little bit more accepting of that game state and switch into Sky Terran a little bit faster instead. Oh my god, as we're going for a 1-1-1. Double gas opener, Kamikaze going for the racks into factory into CC. Yan looking to go for a 1-base all in. Okay, I mean, sure, I guess. On the one hand, I'm like, okay, so this is a way to clearly a way to break and kill Kamikaze early on. The problem, though, as we mentioned, is that the rush distance by ground is much longer here. This build is weaker on Amygdala, so we'll see if Kamikaze can figure out what's going on. But now he's in the dark. Here we go, going into Master Reaper, Hellion Liberator. Now, Yan, it looks like he will, or he's setting up for an expansion, but this is a very late expansion. So if he does take a natural base, he needs to get damage done with his army because of how delayed this natural would be. As Kamikaze, his own natural is almost done. It's almost done at this point. Reapers are moving out. Kamikaze soon to figure out what's going on. Does dip in. He sorts a starport. Yeah, he does see it's already done. Big tell. And massive tell already. SCV is going to be going down. Yeah, and he will respond. Does rotate back in. Getting out 1, 2, 3 Reapers. And now we have the CC on the way. And now Yan, he's got to send it across the map. Now back at home, what do we have to defend? Bunkers on the way. Viking production has begun. Oh, 2 Cyclones. Okay. I mean, Kamikaze looking pretty solid here. We'll see if Yan can try to distract him. That's probably going to be the best chance here. We have the Liberator into the main base. We have Master Reaper Hellion here towards the south side. We have 6 Reapers and 3 Hellions. That's a lot of Reaper Hellion. He's going for the Cyclones. He gets 1. Oh, never mind. The first Cyclone does pull away. Second Cyclone likewise as well. Nice kiting here by Kamikaze. He shuts down the Hellions. He shuts down the Reapers, and Kamikaze, he will defend. At the same time, Liberating to the main. Viking will shut it down. 5 SCV kills is a good start, but Kamikaze is still ahead. And Kamikaze still has a worker lead. That's going to be 7 SCV kills. Kamikaze still on 28 workers compared to the 25 of Yan. The natural base is still not done. Kamikaze, he's got extra mules as well. And that was not good enough. Again, this shows just how aggressive and how committed Yan was here with his build. Going for the early 1-1-1. And yes, on the one hand, he killed 7 SCVs. That is good, but not good enough. From here, Kamikaze still has the economic advantage. From here, Kamikaze going for a second starport. Interesting. Now, a 2-port build here is traditionally a 2-base all-in. 2-port, 2-base all-in is typically when you go into Massive Viking and then you make 1 Liberator, you maintain air control, and then you just snowball into a win from there with that 1 lib. But I know the Kamikaze, he does have some quirky builds at times, so if we were casting a player like Maru or Clem or Björn or Cure, I'd say 100% 2-base all-in. Like 2-base all-in here from the Blue Terran. Here from Kamikaze, we'll see how it all pieces together because he is making Ravens instead. Interesting. Is making Ravens into add-on swap into Mass Viking. He may be doing this just to take a Viking lead. We'll see. As there's the add-on swap, from here Viking should be amassing, getting into tank production, extra factories, and building up. Now, the pressure is on Yan from here. We've yet to really determine what direction he's going in. From here, he can still go into Bio and go into Stim. Again, he now has a better idea of the kind of player that Kamikaze is. I mean, Kamikaze does have a reputation. So we'll see if he goes for an add-on swap here, or if indeed he does research something like Stim. Third CC's on the way. Getting a third command center. Guys building his Vikings, his tanks. Based on the delayed upgrade, it's got to be Mech himself, right? I mean, that might be the direction that we have to go in at this point. Going Mech versus Mech. Okay, there it is. He's going for, and never mind, going for Stim, going for Bio. Now, as he's working towards Stim and building up his Bio upgrades and Bio army, here comes the Mech. Here comes Kamikaze, and he has a terrifying army here. Remember, he's making 3 Vikings at a time because of the 2-port build, because of the 2-port setup on 2 bases. Now, Kamikaze does get a 3rd CC on location, but this army is terrifying. He has disables ready. How many tanks? 5. 5 tanks are set up. The Viking count is actually in favor of, actually even. Viking count is even. Ooh. But I will say that Yan has a defensive advantage. Slack going to say lock on. They lock on, they lock in, they take down 2 Vikings. And remember, Kamikaze, he has all those ravens, all that energy. He can break this position. It's up to Yan to try to zone the ravens away. CC is denied. Kamikaze getting his zone up and running. And he has to pull away. Does pull away. The base is exposed. Yeah, not quite in position. Oh, and it's gonna go down. Oh god. The boys are being pulled to repair out of the SCVs. Oh my god, they get baited in. Auto targets get thrown down and the base will fall. GG gets called, and Kamikaze, he will take the series 2-0, taking down Yan. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a really rough start there for Yan, winding it back. As a reminder, he went for a very committed early game build. 1-1-1, 6 Reapers, 3 Hellions, and 1 Liberator. It was very committed, and it did not do enough damage. With that, everything just fell, by the way. Everything just fell apart. Everything just fell apart from there. We saw that Yanni tried to recover, tried to get into eventually his Stim upgrades, his own Vikings, his own tanks, his own 3rd TC, but alas, he was just too far behind. And Kamikaze, he had so many different ways to break that location. He didn't even have to throw down all those auto turrets. He still could have tried to disable tanks and push into the natural. Like, he had a lot of options there with his army. Regardless, GG. GG, well played. With that, we do see Kamikaze advancing on into the next round, and we are here to follow Kamikaze into the semi-finals. Let's go. Up next is going to be a TvZ. It's going to be Kamikaze versus Eric in the next round. Oh boy. Oh, it's one of our own, Pappy. It's one. He's beautiful.